This is USVI News, your Virgin Islands connection.
Hi everyone, thanks for joining us for USVI News. I'm Haley Potter in for Emily. In less than 2 weeks, millions of kids in the U.S. could be eligible to roll up their sleeves for a COVID-19 vaccine. Pfizer is already packing, ready, and waiting to ship out its COVID-19 vaccine for kids ages 5 to 11. The vaccine will be 2 doses 3 weeks apart, each a third of a normal dose. Pfizer says it's about 90% effective against symptomatic infection. The FDA's vaccine advisors are scheduled to meet tomorrow to make their recommendation to the FDA, which has already said the benefits outweigh the risks. So if and when the FDA formally makes the emergency use authorization, Pfizer is ready to get shipping. The nation's 28 million kids in that age group could get their first COVID-19 vaccine in just about a week and a half. Delta Airlines is expanding flights to St. Thomas and St. Martin. The carrier will increase its service to daily nonstop flights from New York to both St. Thomas and St. Martin. The flights will kick off on December 18th and will operate out of New York's John F. Kennedy International Airport. According to the Caribbean Journal, it's part of a broader Caribbean recovery for Delta, which will be operating more than 20 daily flights to 18 different destinations in Latin America and the Caribbean this winter. That's about 85% of pre-pandemic levels, according to the carrier. Delta's senior VP says it's adding 25% more capacity this fall to meet the significant demand for business and international travel going into next year. A St. John man is charged with attempted murder. VIPD arrested 21-year-old Ezeus Ashley of Calabash Boom. He's charged with second-degree attempted murder, unauthorized use of firearm during a commission of the crime, first and third-degree assault, among other weapon charges. Ashley was seen on surveillance video as a suspect in a shooting incident, which happened in Susanna Borg back on September 16th. He was placed in jail under a $200,000 bond. And a St. Croix man is charged with using stolen bank card. Police arrested 50-year-old Michael Conklin and charged him with obtaining money under false pretenses and forgery. Conklin was seen on surveillance video using a bank card belonging to a man who was recently reported missing. Conklin is now in jail. And as we've been reporting, Liberty USVI made some big announcements in the territory recently, and now we have details of good news too in our neighboring territory. Liberty Puerto Rico not only recently changed its logo to reflect the recent acquisition of AT&T, but it also turned gold. Olympic gold medalist in track and field Jasmine Camico Quinn has been named as Liberty's spokesperson to help represent its branding and inspire some of our young athletes. Liberty also made a major announcement of $1 million to 4 charities that'll have long-term sustainable impacts in the community. Our Marcial Rivera was there and has more from San Juan.
Established in 2017, just before Hurricane Maria, Liberty Foundation is driven by 4 pillars, and with a special announcement of a donation of $1 million, they will accomplish just this.
Special donation of about $1 million. We did choose 4 partners. We chose Grupo Gayacan to focus on entrepreneurs and creating not only new economy, but new jobs, new talents. We chose also Para Naturaleza, which protects the environment. So with them, we are going to create different projects focusing on agriculture, right, and sustainability. Our third organization is the Instituto Nueva Escuela, which focusing on education and transforming schools, public schools, into the Montessori model. And the fourth organization is Centro para las Mujeres, which is a part of the Sila Maria Calderón Foundation, to focusing on women entrepreneurship, right? So you put them all together, it's about helping the community, kickstarting, additional economic development, helping the needy, and being there when people need us. So it's put all together. We think it's a great program. More to come, of course, as always, but we're very excited going forward.
Liberty Puerto Rico has just presented their new spokesperson, Olympic gold medalist Jasmine Camacho Quinn. One of the projects for Camacho Quinn will be to promote young athletes to establish goals and work hard to achieve them. How do you feel about being chosen as a spokesperson for the largest telecommunication in Puerto Rico?
It means a lot to me. Being able to I'm given that opportunity. It brings a lot of joy to me, and just being able to give back, that's the main thing for me. I'm kind of like speechless about it still, but I'm really looking forward to it.
From Atorrey, Puerto Rico, this is Maricel Rivera.
And Liberty Cable continues to serve the islands of Puerto Rico here in the USVI and the Caribbean in the telecommunication industry and by giving back to the community. The USDA is taking some aggressive action to protect the U.S. Virgin Islands, Puerto Rico, and the mainland from an African swine fever. The USDA has temporarily stopped the movement of all live swine, swine germplasm, swine products, and byproducts into Puerto Rico and the U.S. Virgin Islands from other countries and from Puerto Rico and the U.S. Virgin Islands into the U.S. mainland. This prohibition includes food made from pork or pork products, which travelers commonly take with them in their travels to and from this region. It's taking this action to stop the spread of African swine fever, a highly contagious and deadly virus affecting domestic and wild pigs that has been confirmed in the Dominican Republic and Haiti. African swine fever has not been detected in the U.S. Virgin Islands or Puerto Rico yet. The disease is not a threat to human health or food safety, and it cannot be transmitted from pigs to humans. However, travelers could unknowingly bring back this disease from an affected area on clothing or via pork or pork food products. The USDA says anyone who works with pigs should be familiar with the signs of this swine flu. Meantime, hundreds of thousands of people get sick every year from poultry contaminated with salmonella. Now, federal health officials are announcing new plans to try and reduce the number of illnesses associated with this bacteria. Our Emily Matson brings us one family's story of how these infections can be life-threatening.
A widespread salmonella outbreak from chicken in 2013 made Amanda Creighton's family sick, including her toddler son, Noah.
He had this high fever that just wouldn't go away.
Doctors found Noah had a large brain abscess that needed emergency surgery. Tests showed a virulent, antibiotic-resistant salmonella strain was the cause. Now 9, Noah's living with a brain injury.
He has a learning disability, a procedural learning deficit to where he has a hard time transferring things to long-term memory and then retrieving them, which also kind of has to do with the speech because he has a word recall difficulty, which causes a severe stutter.
The USDA is launching a new effort aimed at reducing the number of salmonella illnesses linked to poultry, testing strategies to help prevent the bacteria from getting into the supply chain.
Working with all stakeholders, the industry, public health officials, consumer advocacy groups.
While the industry has lowered contamination in products, the number of illnesses in the U.S. has not declined. Of 1.35 million salmonella infections every year, 23% are traced to poultry. Brian Wanholm is with Consumer Reports.
We need an updated poultry safety system that ensures that it's addressing the salmonella strains that pose the highest risk to consumers.
Amanda now works with the group to stop foodborne illness. Her family won a landmark lawsuit against the company connected to the outbreak, which made her son sick.
That was the vindication that we needed, but it was a long, hard process. And I know that making regulatory change in the industry is also going to be a long, hard process, but I'm all in because it's important.
She encourages families to follow best practices for cooking poultry at home, to do what they can to protect themselves.
And symptoms of salmonella include diarrhea, fever, and stomach cramps. Children under the age of 5, pregnant women, and people 65 and older, and people with weakened immune systems are more likely to have a severe illness from salmonella.